What my son did was absolutely wrong. I thought he did what he did. A better part of society by going to jail or coming out and being with his family and us moving forward and progressing him so he is a better person.
Your Honor, on behalf of the state, this is failure to comply. The court is well aware of our office's position on this. We asked for 24 months in prison. This is a chase that exceeded 130 miles per hour, causing great danger to the community. I would also request a 5-year license suspension be imposed on the defendant, and anything else will defer to the court.
Mr. Mason.
Your Honor, I think that Jonathan has learned a lot from this. He certainly is remorseful for it. I'm sure you read his statement in the pre-sentence report. I think he is sincere about that. He doesn't have a prior record as far as driving. He's stayed away from alcohol and cannabis this whole time that he's been out on bond. And that would suggest to me that he doesn't have some kind of serious substance abuse problem, but if you require him to do counseling, he'll certainly be compliant with that. I think he'll be a model probationer, and I'd ask you to consider probation. Judge, I would just finally say I really think that Jonathan, he hasn't had the easiest way to go. He was in foster care at 6 weeks. He was adopted when he was 2.5 years old. All along the way, I think he's been trying to build what we would call a normal childhood, a normal life. He's now working. He's on the right track, and I think he's done an excellent job. He has goals in mind, and I think he's going to continue on that course.
Thank you. Mr. McGinnis, is there anything you'd like to say?
I just wanted to start off by saying I apologize to the officers and everybody that was on the road, and I put their lives at risk. Give me a chance to stay on probation. I'll continue to follow all the court orders, stay clean, and stay at my job.
And your job.
This is the moment where everything in the courtroom starts shifting. The defendant is finally forced to confront the reality of that high-speed chase. Over 130 miles per hour, risking not just his life, but everyone on that road. And what's striking here is the court's focus, not just the crime, but the thought process behind it. Why do people in these situations think running is a better option than stopping? Was it fear, panic, or just bad judgment in a split second that changed everything legally speaking? This is where failure to comply cases become serious felony matters, because intent doesn't erase danger created, and the judge is clearly trying to dig deeper than excuses, trying to find a reason that actually makes sense in law and logic.
Job is the tire discounters on Coleraine Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. McGinnis, tell me what your thoughts are. The state of Ohio, the prosecuting attorney asking that I sentence you to 24 months in prison. What's your reaction to that?
I mean, I understand it. Like 10 years ago, the officer got killed, and it's not good.
Does that scare you at all?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Can you explain to me why you ran?
I have no excuse. I panicked and made a bad decision.
Well, I mean, again, in that moment, what was your thought process as to why you thought that would be a better idea? Did you think that the police were not allowed to pursue you?
I know that they're allowed to.
I mean, did you think you were really going to get away? I mean, I'm trying to figure out why. I mean, people have all kinds of reasons for running. I'm not really sure in that moment you went from a speeding ticket to a felony with up to 60 months in prison. That's 5 years of your life in prison that I could send you. I'm just trying to figure out in that moment what your thought process was.
Oh, if I would have gotten...
Now this is the emotional core of the entire hearing. The father steps in, and suddenly this is no longer just a legal case. It becomes a human story. He openly accepts his son's wrongdoing, but then shifts the argument to something much deeper: rehabilitation versus punishment. This is one of the biggest debates in criminal justice. Should the system prioritize punishment or giving someone a structured chance to rebuild their life? From a legal perspective, judges do consider background, upbringing, and personal history, foster care, adoption, stability. All of this can influence sentencing under mitigating factors. But the judge also pushes back with a hard truth. Bad decisions carry real consequences, regardless of background.
Another ticket, then I would have lost my job, but now I understand that losing my job is better than putting people's lives at risk.
Anything else you want me to know?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Of course, consider the statements made here today, the pre-sentence investigation. I have reviewed the letter submitted on behalf of the defendant. I've considered the purposes and principles of sentencing, the relevant Is there something you'd like, sir?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I neglected to mention this. This is his father.
Okay.
He said he wanted to say something.
Oh, sure,
on the
absolutely.
subject.
Come up to at that table there, sir. There's a microphone right there. It'll pick up your voice just from right there.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Identify yourself for the court reporter, please.
Please,
Just state your name.
Edward McGinnis.
All right, what can I do for you?
I just wanted to make a statement. What my son did was absolutely wrong, and I thought I instilled that in him. Irregardless of what I thought I did, he did what he did. He is guilty of that. But to me, when I'm not a lawyer, I'm not whatever, but I look at things, is he going to be a better person, a better part of society by going to jail or coming out and being with his family and us moving forward and progressing him so he is a better person as a family member, as a person in society, working a job, and not being in the system to where I feel that things could change him in a different direction. And that's all I have to say.
Okay. And I don't necessarily disagree with you, anything that you've just said, but I would add that from where I sit, and again, I'm not perfect, I make mistakes, we all do.
Yes, sir.
My children, when they were growing up, made goofy decisions, but I've always tried to teach them, when you make a bad decision, there's bad consequences to that decision.
Oh, absolutely, Your Honor.
So as we stand here today, although I certainly wish the best for him, there are going to be consequences today. Fair?
I understand that, sir.
Okay. Anything else you'd like me to know?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Anything else, Mr. Mason?
No, Your Honor, thank
All
you.
right. All right, the court, as I said, has considered the statements made here today, the pre-sentence investigation, the purposes and the principles of sentencing, the relevant seriousness and recidivism factors. Mr. McGinnis, the court is going to find that you are amenable to community control, so I'm going to place you into community control for a period of 3 years. You will be subject to the supervision of the Warren County Probation Department. I'm ordering you to refrain from use of any drugs, alcohol, or marijuana. You are not old enough to drink alcohol nor smoke marijuana. So that's the end of that, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. There's been no recommendation for any type of treatment. The court is going to order you to serve 60 days in the Warren County Jail. I'm going to do something with you that I have never done before. Well, first I'm going to let you schedule that with your probation officer. But the thing that, and that's not unusual because I let people do that, I'm not going to take you into custody today, but I'm going to allow you, are you supervising, Lily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This is your probation officer sitting right here. She's going to want to talk to you after course. But one of the things I'm going to do for you, because you're not going to have a license after today for the next 5 years. I'm suspending your license for 5 years, effective today. Can't drive anymore, okay? But I'm going to have you serve 60 days, 60 additional days in the Warren County Jail. He can pick those those days, and they do not have to be served consecutively. What that means is you can work during the week and spend your weekends in jail, but you're going to serve an additional 60 days. You have served 6 days, you're going to serve 60 more, okay? And I generally make people serve those straight through, but I'm going to since you're not going to be able to drive and you're working in Colerain Township, you're not going to be able to drive to and from work, so let's do it on weekends, okay? Or however you want to arrange that with your probation officer. I am going to assess a fine against you of $2,500 and the costs of prosecution. If you don't pay those costs, I can order you to do community service of up to 40 hours per month until you're paid in full or an appropriate arrangement is made to pay those costs. Now, you're also subject to a mandatory period of post-release control. Now, what that means is that if you are ever sent to prison on this charge, and you're not being sent to prison today, but if you screw up again and the court ends up sending you to prison, when you are released, the Adult Parole Authority will supervise you for up to 3 years, but not less than 1 year. If you violate those rules of supervision, the Adult Parole Authority can return you to prison for up to 1/2 of this court's sentence. If your violation is that you go out and commit another felony, that trial court could order you to serve an additional prison sentence of 1 year or whatever time you have left on post-release control, whichever of those is longer, and that time would run consecutive to any additional prison time that you get sentenced to, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, you have a right to appeal the court's decision of your sentence to the 12th District Court of Appeals. If you want to appeal, you must file your notice of appeal within 30 days of today's date. If you can't afford to pay for the transcript or anything necessary for your appeal, including an attorney, that can be provided to you at no cost. Do you have questions for me?
No, sir.
Dad, Mr. McGinnis, do you have questions for me, sir?
With the fine, basically, let's set up a payment for that? Okay, that's,
It's not my highest priority, but
yeah, but I just want to make sure that's.
it
yeah.
does not have to be
We'll
paid.
make out the arrangements for him to be here when he needs to be.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mason, is there anything else, sir?
No, Your Honor, thank
Ms.
you.
Tranter, is there anything else?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. McGinnis, Ms. Williford's going to want to talk to you for a little bit after court. Okay, so head back down to court services, and then she's going to go over with you in more detail the rules of your supervision, okay?
All right, thank you.
Best of
Your
luck to you.
Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Under Ohio Revised Code Section 2921.331, failure to comply with order or signal of a police officer, the defendant, Jonathan McGinnis, entered a guilty plea to a felony offense arising from conduct that created a substantial risk of serious physical harm to persons and property. The court proceeded to sentencing after reviewing the pre-sentence investigation and statements presented. In determining the appropriate disposition, the court applied the purposes and principles of felony sentencing under Ohio Revised Code Section 2929.11 and considered seriousness and recidivism factors under Ohio Revised Code Section 2929.12. The court found the defendant amenable to community control and imposed a sentence of 3 years of supervision under the probation department. As a condition of supervision, the defendant is required to serve 60 days in the county jail, with discretion to serve the time non-consecutively as approved by probation. Additional sanctions include a 5-year driver's license suspension, a monetary fine of $2,500, and assessment of court costs. The defendant is ordered to abstain from drugs and alcohol and comply with all conditions of supervision. The court advised that any violation of community control may result in the imposition of a prison sentence of up to 60 months. The defendant is subject to post-release control under Ohio Revised Code Section 2967.28 if a prison term is later imposed.